Welcome back. We're talking to John Myers from the Sacramento Bureau Chief of KQED, and Anthony York, the editor of Capital Weekly. I'd like to turn our attention to that never-ending topic, the state budget. We're facing another deficit. This year it's projected to be about $20 billion, and that prompted the Bee editorial board to recently write, if you're a citizen of California who cares about California, you might feel a bit like Alice in Wonderland. Your state has fallen into a deep rabbit hole. Nearly everywhere you go in the capital, you encounter a strange cast of characters who can't seem to work together and who distort reality. You keep asking serious questions, but all you get back are riddles. So, Anthony, when it comes to the state budget, is it getting curiouser and curiouser, as Alice would say?
Well, unfortunately, unlike Alice in Wonderland, this is not just a dream. This is a reality that we've been dealing with for years here in Sacramento. And Democrats will tell you they've gone as far as they want to go with cuts. That they're cutting to the bone, they're cutting bone and muscle, that all the fat has been trimmed away, and Republicans say that there's more to be cut. What seems pretty clear is that we're not going to get tax increases this year. I mean, that seems to be sort of dead on arrival. We'll get a mishmash of fees and revenue swaps, and along with some more cuts, I think. This time around, and a lot of waiting, I think that we're going to see in this budget, as in years past, we'll see some sort of phony solutions that will be earmarked as solutions that magically will never come to pass in the budget.
I want to talk about one of those, and that is the governor's proposal to get 40% of the problem, the deficit, taken care of by the feds. Yeah. How likely is that to happen, John? And if we don't get that money from Washington, where's the money going to come from?
Well, I mean, that percentage, I think the likelihood of that is probably not very good. Will we get some money from the federal government?
Would a better word be never? We're never going to get 40%, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's tough, but I mean, there are a couple of things here. First of all, the places that the governor's asking for money don't seem very realistic when you talk to people in Washington and talk to the experts. Some of the formulas the governor's trying to change, these have been fights that have been going on for decades. A great example, the governor wants more money to pay for the incarceration of undocumented felons. California has been asking for that money forever, and it still hasn't gotten what it wants. Will the state get money? Absolutely. I mean, the state will probably get more money in social services and health care for the poor. The formulas that D.C. uses for that, we're probably going to get some, but we're not going to get the number the governor wants, is what most experts will tell you, in which case, I think, which is where you're going, well, then what happens?
Exactly.
And therein lies the problem. I think there are a couple of problems. One is that no one really wants to address that fundamental cuts or revenues issue. They're always looking for a third way. The second problem this year is it's an election year. You've got a race for governor. You've got the entire assembly, half of the state senate up for re-election. And election years are really bad times to be taking great big, strong, flag in the sand kind of stances about what you're wanting to do.
Anthony, legislative analyst office, the LAO, recently stated that the major expenditure reductions are going to, quote, require significant lead time for departments to implement. Accordingly, the legislature and the governor will need to agree to a framework to solve much of the budget problem by the end of March. Well, we're here now. Has it happened?
No. That's the short answer. No, and in fact, if anything, we've seen some of the temporary solutions, some of those decisions being delayed. The governor just vetoed about $4 billion worth of solutions that the Democrats put on his desk. And I think there's sort of this ethos in Sacramento now, both on the part of the Democrats and on the part of the governor, certainly, is to wait until April, wait until the tax dollars actually start coming in. And rather than making hypothetical cuts and trying to guess at what the budget numbers are, let's wait until the money comes in so we can see what we have.
Just so our listeners or viewers understand this, the budget is proposed in January, but those they base it on numbers that are what, November, October?
Those are projections that are designed at the end of the year, and then the governor is bound to make his spending proposal in January by the Constitution, and then in May there's a revised proposal after the money comes in April 15th. Right. So, and after the dollars have been counted, there's a revised proposal in May.
Okay. So I want to talk to you, John, about this. That May revise. Yeah. Is it likely to be better or worse than the January numbers, the $20 billion shortfall?
Well, if you believe the numbers that we've got right now, probably slightly better. I mean, the revenue numbers are looking better than what was predicted back in January, about $2 billion better than where we should be at this time. But part of the problem becomes, I don't, different people have different opinions about whether or not there should be lots of substantive action as we sit here in late winter, early spring. We're now into spring. But, the reality is until you get some of that hard tax revenue data in hand, with as bad as solutions as we've had in the past, all these cuts and all these other things that have happened, there probably is a good case to be made not to make dramatic changes in what we're doing in spending, because you really don't know what those numbers are. We have seen in years past, nobody's predicting a huge influx of revenue this year with the economy still being weak. But we have seen in years past being very surprised by those tax revenues, especially from the most wealthy people in the state, sometimes with capital gains revenues. And it can be a little dicey to make major decisions until you really know what you've got to spend.
So maybe good news.
Maybe.
Okay, well, when we come back, we'll talk about how what is happening in Sacramento will impact the pressing issues we face here in the Valley. That conversation when we return. This is the Maddy Report.